Hello and welcome everyone to Let's Play Tomb Raider 4 The Last Revelation. This is secret number 1. No such luxury, no time to introduce ourselves. Instead, jump here as soon as the loading screen ends and you notice there is something shining up there, because you'll be awarded with the first secret of the level and a large health pack. Now, for those of you who are experienced Tomb Raiders, this should have triggered some strong Furnace of the Gods Golden Mask expansion levels for Tomb Raider 2 flashbacks. But then the stakes were much lower, it was just a box of flair. Here it's an actual large health pack and first secret. Come on, you have to get all the secrets, it's a matter of honor. Now, let me officially welcome you to the burial chambers, which are something of an extension to the Tomb of Seth at the previous level, because this will be basically where we'll find the real Tomb of Seth. Thematically they are very similar, although I have to say the second level is even prettier than the first one. That's quite saying something. But as to why it was split into two levels, well, Tomb Raider 4 was released in 1999 for also PS1 and Sega Dreamcast, by which point both consoles were quite old. And, you know, with the improved engine, the better particle effects, increased texture size, and Lara's absolutely stunning gorgeous polygon count, I imagine the older consoles would not be able to handle levels quite as big as those in Tomb Raider 3, so we'll see a couple of times where we'll feel this should have been one level, but they split it into two, and I think really that concessions were made for those older consoles. But, you know, this is not proven, at least not that I'm aware of, this is just my theory. Nevertheless, let's bask in how gorgeous it is, but don't bask in the beauty of these really cute stars, because by now you should know that they are evil. Oh yes. The moment you pick up the key item, these blocks will disappear, so make a jump. I advise to the left, not to the right, just like I did, because if you jump to the right you will have avoided certain death, but also, just take a look here, you have missed a box of shotgun shells. How you're supposed to know that, I don't know, but don't worry, it's an easy mistake to fix. Just go back, wait for the spikes to retract, and make a jump whilst pivoting Lara to the right. See? Pivoting, standing jumps always fix all our problems. I wish this would be the case in real life. I tried it, it didn't work, it didn't fix any of my problems, but then again, I'm not particularly good at standing jumps, so there's that development area. Oh, by the way, this just begs for a swan dive, don't you think? Okay, now let me introduce you to a really cool feature of Tomb Raider 4 that I love. Breakable vases, and listen to the crunchy sound. So satisfying. I'm gonna break them all. I don't care if it's useful or useless or potentially even dangerous, I'm just gonna break them all. It's a matter of Tomb Raider honor. Now, before we break the second one, let me just use our binoculars to show you the winged scarab. This is actually a key item we will find later on in the level, and we need it to get out of the Tomb of Seth, or burial chambers as it's called now. And it's a motif we will see again later on in the level, but I just love the fact that they applied it on the breakable vases here. And I learned how to zoom out. It's the sprint key, not the flare key. Oh, this is so cool, the possibilities are endless now. Look how far-reaching the light is everywhere. You can truly admire how everything is golden and bright and beautiful and Egyptian. Okay, and sometimes you will also encounter lower vases, for which you will actually need to do a crouching fire. Remember, you can fire from crouch, or just get onto a lower level like we are right now, so if you just do this, you will have broken it. And inside is a small health pack, unlike the previous one, so I'm not technically sure if it's under the urn or inside the urn, or if the pickup spawns the moment the urn is... sorry, not urn, vase is broken. But, you know, there you have it. I shouldn't call them urns. Ancient Egyptians didn't burn the bodies of the dead, so yeah, that's definitely not the case. No ashes of dead people inside. Oh, and try to do a mid-air roll here and jump like this, because you will avoid taking any damage. If you over-jump even a little, you will land here and you will take just the slightest amounts of damage. But, you know, it's not that important, I guess. Now let me welcome you to one of the most signature traps of Tomb Raider 4 and a significant difficulty spike. See what I did there? Now, first of all, we need to get rid of the spikes which are blocking the blade's mechanism. And we are gonna do that with a beautiful pickup we found in the previous room, the Hand of Orion, or however you could call it. So let's just put it in and see what happens. There we go. So, the blades are spinning, and each of those blades has a pair of blades, which are also spinning and also moving horizontally. Isn't this just evil? But don't worry, it's not as bad as it looks, simply because the big grey blades that are just rotating across the room, they don't deal any damage whatsoever, they only push Lara to the ground, okay? Which is still pretty annoying, don't get me wrong. it's the small rotating ones you have to worry about because they shred Lara's health like paper, okay? Now, getting through this without taking any damage, that's not really such a difficult feat. It's getting the pickups on top of it that worries me. So, you might already see the shotgun on the left and the box of shotgun shells at the front. First things first, what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna get the shotgun, then I'm gonna drop to the floor, I'm gonna pick up a small health bag in the corner of the room, come back here, get the box of shotgun shells, drop, come back here, and then go across safely in a very innovative way. Right? You got that? You took your notes? Very good, now wish me luck, for I will definitely need it. Okay, and side flip right now, son. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Down, Lara, down, down. Gosh darn it. I know there is a way without taking damage, but there you have it. Okay, now that we are here, let's pick up the small health pack. Let's not use it quite yet. I have quite high hopes about making it through. And yeah, notice the sarcophagus over here. They don't really mean anything, they are not at all important, but you can do cool side flips next to them. That's something, and I just love how they look. You can't interact with them by pressing Control key, you can't really shoot them or anything like that, but later on, these will become quite significant. Well, not these ones in particular, but same kind of sarcophaguses. Or sarcophagi, should I say? Huh, that's a good question. Anyway, box of shotgun shells. This should be a bit easier, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna die, right? Let's make a running jump as soon as that blade passes. It did, wonderful, and let's just get the hell away from there. Brilliant. And now that we have all the goodies, I'm gonna show you how to get across without, well, ideally taking any damage, but if we end up taking some, it should be minimal. Oh, that was very reckless. Let's instead do a standing line jump like this. Let's see. Almost. So a bit further back and Lara would have just grabbed the ledge immediately. Remember, corner shimmying, a new cool feature to Tomb Raider 4, so this is how we're gonna get across safely, although it's not entirely risk-free, and you'll understand once we reach the end. Okay. And again, well, I don't want to call it randomness, because I'm too stupid to predict that, but one of the reasons why you might do this several times and different things and different damage will happen is the positioning of the small blades that are spinning horizontally, still moving on an axis on their own. So they are changing positions, right? Now let's climb up and do a backwards jump. There we go. See, this is how you get across without damage. Just start climbing in once those smaller spinning blades is directly over Lara's head, and the next one should not be. That's how they're synchronized, if that makes sense. I'm so glad we made it across. Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Seth. Yes, that's him, alright, inside this coffin. And by the way, do not approach the coffin from the right side where the little steps are, because that will trigger horrible, catastrophic, apocalyptic events into motion. Instead, try to, draw a flare. Let's explore the corner over here. There should be a small health pack. And diagonally opposite of it, just like sort of the two boxes of flares in the previous level, you will find another goodie. There are, by the way, no flares to be picked up in this level, just health packs and shotgun shells. Now, notice there are these small canals leading underneath, so let's follow that and see what that's all about. We're gonna find ourselves in a room with a magnificent statue and with 3 sarcophagi or sarcophaguses. Please, someone in the comments tell me how I should pronounce it or say it, the plural of sarcophagus. And yeah, there's a small health pack over here. And before we do anything, just drop into the corner over here. This, facing it from the center of the room, should be northwestern corner. Cool. So as you enter north, this is the one tilted to the right, because this is another secret. Yeah, just like that. I believe this is the 3rd secret of the level. 2 more to go, and small health pack, box of shotgun shells. The thing about getting in now is that later on it will be inaccessible, and I will show you why. Now, our path forward is actually through this sarcophagus, okay? Unfortunately, we cannot really open it by interacting it or shooting it, and we actually have to put this statue over on the tile over here. It's as simple as that. Unfortunately, we can't really interact with the statue because it's on a small step. But it is a pushable object, I think the first one in this game so far, and I'll show you a cool feature about pushable objects in Tomb Raider 4. But later on about that, we need it to go a bit lower. And the way we're gonna do that is, well, it's actually no big deal, we're just gonna trigger the end of the world. What a sexy side flip, Lara. Cool stuff. So, full disclosure, we're gonna consider this a pickup because we just got our hands on a key item, the Amulet of Horus. It's gorgeous, and unfortunately I can't really zoom it in to see the inscriptions on it, but we'll get to see them in an FMV cutscene. The thing about what Lara just did was not reading the inscription before picking it up, and I actually can't blame her for it, because in her situation I would also first pick up the treasure and then inspect it in greater detail once I'm somewhere safe. So yeah, I kind of get it. But the weird thing is, something's flowing out of the sarcophagus, the tomb, and that something is not lava or burning oil as you might think because of the previous level. No, it's in fact blood. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the blood of Seth, and we are gonna get drenched in it in a short while. There we go. So the statue is now on an equal footing, which means we get to interact with it. But the sarcophagi have opened as soon as we step on the tile over here, and what we see are two mummies. Oh my goodness gracious. This is actually pretty scary. Let me just pick up our binoculars and get a good look at them. Okay, probably getting a close look makes them funny, not scary, but there they are, completely still, unmoving, just waiting for their chance to do something to Lara. The thing about the mummies is... you know what? I'm gonna explain later. First of all, remember, third secret, this is what happens. The blood of Seth flows in, and for some reason the grate closes and you can no longer get it. The fact that we're swimming in blood is actually kind of metal. But if you step outside, normal water drops just drop from Lara, just like the oil in the first level. It's simple as that. Now you can enter the sarcophagus over here, but there's nothing, just a wall. Still kind of cool. And what we need to do in order to continue is actually push this statue on that block over there. And now, if you press forward once, Lara will just, you know, push it like she did since the very first game. But now we need to move it twice, and the cool thing about pushing movable objects in Tomb Raider 4, by the way, I haven't explained the controls yet, you need to hold the control key, and now you can either press forward or backward. You can't actually move it to the sides. I think that's only possible in the Crystal Dynamics trilogy. Anyway, here in the older ones you can go backwards or forwards, but you can also just keep holding, and Lara's animation will not reset. See, this was 1, and this is 2. Finally, I think this is something that was sorely needed since the very first game. And now the path is open, but still blocked by a mummy. But the wall behind it has retracted and we are now able to continue, which is kind of neat. There it is, completely unmoving. So what are we gonna do about these bastards? Well, we can shoot, but as you can see, not much happens. They don't even flinch. And that's because they haven't woken up yet. Up until they wake up, you can't do anything about these guys. Well, probably with explosive ordnance we could, but we don't have that right now. So if you get too close or even enter the sarcophagus, they wake up. Let's wake up this guy. We need him to go out of the way. Or girl, I actually don't know. And yeah, and they just follow you and they'll try to punch Lara. Just watch this. Watch this. There's just something so funny about it. Now, you can shoot them with your pistols, and sometimes they'll flinch. Sometimes. Oh, yeah, it happened once. Brilliant. And by the way, if you have two enemies, keep holding, well, pressing the look button, and Lara will cycle between her targets. Right. left, right, left, right. So this is why automatic aiming is really cool, and I don't really recommend the manual one, because just pressing the look key, especially if you have it assigned to a hotkey which is comfortably against your hand, is worth it. It's enough. It's completely sufficient for me personally. Maybe there's some really niche experienced Tomb Raider out there who actually prefers manual, but I'm not familiar with that. So we can keep shooting them forever, but we're not gonna damage them in any way. And if you wanna use heavier ordnance, you can sometimes knock them out. That actually happens rarely as well, so I'm happy to see that. But they just pick themselves up and keep moving. And unfortunately, I have tried. You can't knock them down into Seth's blood. They will always stop at the very edge and they will not fall through. Even for larger gaps and abysses, you can't really make them drop. You know, if we'll encounter mummies from this point onward later on in the game, I will keep trying, but I have tried in this level without any success. So all we can do is outrun them, which again is so frustrating for me as a completionist, but there you have it. And if you lure them here and try to knock them down with your shotgun, it's not gonna happen. They're always gonna stop at the very end and not move, not punch, like Lara is when you're holding a walk key. It's as simple as that. Even if you knock them down, they will be knocked down at this exact spot and never go down. Anyway, say goodbye to your newfound friends and let's continue. Don't feel too bad about them. Something tells me once we'll defeat Seth, they'll be laid to rest, you know, just a hunch. Ah, there we are. The magnificent central room to the level. Oh, I love this. This is classical Tomb Raider all around. Did you see the movement? It's a doggo. Well, actually, no. It's a jackal adorned with jewels. This is definitely Seth's domain. Oh, sneaky, sneaky. Again, I feel really horrible about killing them. They're a bit more powerful than the brown dogs we encountered in the previous level. I mean, come on, they are black and they have jewels. That's so awesome. But they also can survive a shotgun blast unless you have it lined up very well and precisely. But first of all, like I like to do is not just complete the level, but explain also what we are trying to do. I think it's going to help you remember once you'll be playing it on your own. Let's enter the Golden Temple over here. It's just so warm and inviting. And I'm going to explain what's going to happen. We need 2 key items to use in the sand room so that the sand elevator will lift us up there and we will escape. Now, the 2 key items are a golden snake, which we'll put here, and the winged scarab we have actually seen displayed on the breakable vases, and we're going to put it here, right? And since Lara has everything she came here into Egypt for, and that's the Amulet of Horus, that's it, that's the entire purpose she arrived here, she needs to get out. That's our only objective right now. But notice how there's a friend here to, you know, say farewell before that happens. And yeah, you can't really shoot him in any shape or form, even, you know, Lara will not particularly aim at him or anything like that. With two-handed weapons you can even aim to the ground, but it's not gonna do anything, right? He's just gonna chill out until we are ready to escape, and then he's gonna try and hug us. So let's leave him for now. But by entering this room, you will have also triggered the appearance of third jackal in this cave. I think we can just wait here and he'll arrive. Where are you? Okay, now I'm really scared. Where is that bloody beast? Okay. What was it? Oh, you're stuck, you poor dear. Oh, let me just take care of that problem for you. Okay. Normally he would have entered the tunnel, but I guess this is better. At least we didn't get bit. We already lost a lot of health. And time for the 4th secret of the level. Imagine how everything is dark here. You don't have to explore those dark corners over there. You can, of course. There's nothing there. Trust me, I've been there. But over here, just in this inconspicuous spot, just like that, secret number 4 with a large health pack. Yeah, that's it. So again, it's worthwhile exploring all dark corners because you never know which one of them holds the secret, I guess. And don't worry and don't be too puzzled about... Oh, God damn it, Lara. Don't be too puzzled about the grate you see over there, because that will be our way back from a particularly tricky room, okay? So we'll get there in due time. Now you kind of have a choice between going forward or to the left across the magnificent bridge and on. In terms of how epic things will get, I prefer to just go here. This is more of a mundane challenge, okay? So we'll climb the golden ladder. And again, let me just reinstate how absolutely gorgeous everything is. Oh my goodness, if I'm ever gonna end up in Egypt, in, let's say, Museum of Cairo, in the necropolis of Giza, I'm gonna touch everything. I'm just gonna put my hands all over those ancient surfaces. They're gonna have me thrown out, fined, maybe in jail, but it's gonna be worth it. Okay, another breakable vase, shotgun shells, and yeah, mind you, again, notice the winged scarab motif, and a small health bag over here. And actually, talking about the winged scarab motif, there it is again. So it's interesting to see this same texture applied on an even surface, right? I feel like this deserves a bit more light. Oh, it's so beautiful. Sorry, I should really get a move on. And notice two friends here to again greet us, but of course they'll only wake up once we take our prize. No way to get rid of them either. Again, we just have to ignore them, which I find very rude, but there you have it. Now, I really recommend just doing a running jump rather than trying to climb up, because Lara might just get punched once or twice. Yeah, and leave them hanging. If you are by any chance using a safe editor or an all weapons and ammunitions cheat, you can use explosive weapons to get rid of them. And yes, I said weapons because there isn't just one in this game, but I'm gonna spoil it too much. Okay. And now, Lara, go, 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 go. I think we took some minor damage when falling, but it's fine because we didn't get crushed to death by spikes. And yeah, we can already climb out, but I just want to see how far this will go. Again, the dynamic verticality, I love it so much. This is such a cool trap. I was so proud when, you know, the first time I landed here and I actually survived. It was just, yeah, the adrenaline kicked in and my survival instincts did as well. It felt pretty damn good. Now, before you make the long drop, this can actually, again, turn your experience around you. If you played, for example, Tomb Raider 2, the deck level, you know that if there is a large health pack next to a long drop, it means you're supposed to get hurt. And with our current health, we would not have survived. But there is a safer way. They have conveniently put one block that will make the drop easier. See, just like that. So, they've been very kind. This is, after all, just the second real level of the game, post-tutorials. And now that we got our hands... Oh, I didn't even show yet. The Golden Serpent, we still need the Winged Scarab to trigger the sand elevator over there. So, that's why we are gonna get across this bridge. And, again, have that shotgun ready, you know. You haven't really seen me use pistols against the dogs, but come on, shotgun hunting them is just too much fun. And Lara will start aiming quite early, which is very, very helpful. Okay, I did not even see where he was, I just trusted Lara's instincts. Good, that took care of that. We didn't need to waste another shotgun shell, which is very good. Oh, by the way, I recommend you make a safety drop here. It's, well, a fall. I said I'm gonna do things in the order of epicness. That's because this is, again, one of the most memorable parts of Tomb Raider 4, already in the second level. And that's simply... I'm not gonna spoil it just yet. I mean, most of you probably know what's gonna happen. You have played the game in some capacity, I imagine, but first of all, let's get our hands on secret number 5, and I think standing jump will do just fine. There we go. I need to overdo it, and just, yeah, make a jump here, and that's it. By the way, nothing here. Just wall, okay? So that was it. We have all 5 secrets of the level. We can just slide down safely, and don't worry about the plethora of spikes everywhere. You don't even need to crawl under them, you can just run through like this when they're angled like that, but it wouldn't really serve any purpose, right? So let's do this and that. And I kind of feel better about our odds by making a running jump here. Call me paranoid. And notice how there's another star-shaped slot over here. That's because we are gonna find another beautiful star in this level. Again, the key items here are just stunning. They're really gorgeous. Okay, and that's ultimately where we want to go. So we want to retract the spikes and make a jump there to pick up the winged scarab. Actually, I think with binocs I can maybe even show it to you. Let's see. I'm using the binocs too much, no? I'm having too much fun. There it is. In its glory. Okay. But it's not going to be that simple. We are going to have to fool around with the gravity a little. Well, not really with the gravity, but our perception of it, to be more precise. Any spikes? No, they did not appear. That is very good. By the way, whenever you trigger something here, the spike configuration changes a little. So it can be just a bit vicious like that. And, yeah, feel free to just make a running jump here and slide down, because underneath the place where we entered, a crate opened, leading to a ladder. And again, this is where we're gonna do one of the coolest things in the entire game. Just observe this. You guessed it, that's not the camera turning, that's the actual room, the actual level, the environment turning. I don't know how they achieved this, but this is truly glorious. This is the lever that we pushed, right? Because we approached it from here, we pushed it forward, it's there. This lever, while also seemingly pushed forward, we didn't interact with yet. We can, but it does absolutely nothing. I would imagine, since this is the room where we triggered the turn, by pressing this lever, we'd be able to turn it back, or maybe just by pressing it in again. That's what I originally thought. But I have found no information online as to what this lever actually does. Maybe it's like a fallback plan in case you get stuck, you rotate the room too early, or something along the lines that will enable you to rotate it back, but then it should have happened by now. The game doesn't actually know if you're stuck or not, so I don't understand what the purpose is. I really don't. Maybe it was supposed to have some use and they forgot to implement it or something like that. I truly don't know. Yeah, and feel free to slide down here. So the room is turned upside down. That doesn't really solve our problem of getting the winged scarab. Well, seemingly so, but we still have to get our hands on the star I mentioned. And there it is. This reminds me of one of the places in, I think it was the Sanctuary of the Scion level in Tomb Raider 1. It was a room with pretty much about this layout, similar kind of textures, and there was a centaur with exploding firebombs waiting for us. Yeah, but this thankfully is not the case. In general, Tomb Raider 4 is actually not really that combat heavy, so that's kind of neat. Although I miss it. Sometimes I'm bloodthirsty and I just feel like, you know, it should have this Tomb Raider 2 level of action. So we got our hands on, if I'm mistaken, the Hand of Sirius. Let me just quickly check. The Hand of Sirius, so not Orion but Sirius right now. I'm not sure if these were Egyptian gods of wind or something along those lines, or night sky. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And we're gonna use it to actually cheat our way to the key item, to the winged scarab, which is kind of funny. You'll see what I mean in a short while. Okay. Now, we just need to make it across there, and then into the grate that just opened. By the way, you may feel like shimmying across the corners is safer, but don't worry, you can climb up, you can even touch the spikes. Nothing will happen. But if you make a jump here, that's when Lara will get hurt, strangely enough. It just works like that for some reason. Now make a standing jump here, ideally not from the complete edge, because Lara can overjump into the slippery slope and get impaled, poor girl. So now that we are here, we're gonna descend, and safety drop is not gonna do it. This is really far, but let me demonstrate something cool. Throwing flares, if you're not sure. If this was a completely dark piece of the earth, you can just around make out how deep it is, using flares and throwing them by repressing the flare key. Thankfully, this is grabbable, even though it doesn't look like it, so you can just go like this. I'm just gonna leave the flare here, it's bright enough, we don't need it. Notice how there are again two mummies resting here, it's just so funny. I bet they're awake, but they're pretending they are not. And each time this happens, when the whole level rotates, imagine what's happening to Lara. She must be just being thrown across the room, rolling like crazy. But Lara has a very good PR department. The camera is not gonna show that, it's just gonna show the end result. Which I feel is the case with most successful people, you know, you really pretty much see the end result, not really what led them to be the way they are. That'd be too discouraging, wouldn't it? Success is actually hard, yeah. Okay guys, I'm not successful enough to hang out with you, sorry, I'm not worth it, just gonna get out. And again, I try not to feel sorry for them, because I'd like to think that the moment we are gonna close, well, get rid of Seth, they're gonna die and finally find their rest. But we're gonna have a similar dilemma with some different kind of undead enemies later on, and thankfully by then we should have weapons powerful enough to lay them to rest, so we'll see how that will go. Now, this is still where we need to go. How? You might be thinking, wait a second, there was a ladder here. Try not to even grab the ladder, because sometimes Lara can get hurt because of the spikes at the very top, even by touching the ladder. I don't think this works as intended, I think it's a glitch. Nevertheless, it's a deadly glitch and we don't have much health to spare. Instead, we're gonna cheat. Well, I mean, progress as intended, but it feels like a dirty cheat. By putting in the Hand of Sirius, no epic mechanism is gonna get triggered, nothing is even shown, but rope appears. That's it. This block, I believe, has actually came down a little with the piece of rope. So now, I recommend doing a running jump here. Hold the control key and Lara will grab it just accordingly. Now it takes a while before you can start tilting her. Remember, if you press right, she will start tilting to the left. I think it has something to do with her animation. They try to be realistic because she turns her head to the right when going left. She turns her head to the left when going right. Whatever the case. And you just hold the sprint key once is enough. And there you go, right? So, that's it. We cracked the mystery of the room, we turned it twice upside down, and this is our prize. And finally, let me check the name of this thing. Is it Winged Scarab? Oh, Scarab Talisman. Well, it has wings, that's what matters. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there should be two very, very evil, hungry jackals over here. Yeah, come on, boy. Okay, and that's not it. Please, keep that shotgun handy, because there is another one. And again, we don't have too much health to spare. Oh! Huh! Good reflexes, Lara. Why does she take credit for all my hard work? I never understood that. Anyway, we have both the objects we wanted to trigger the elevator to get out. And this is the grade we came for. It closes behind us. That's where we found the fourth secret. So that's it. We can now depart from the level. And there is just one final companion that will prevent us from being bored. Yep, you know who I'm talking about. No, it's not Ahmed. We are actually without him this entire level and we are doing just fine, you know? I think all he would achieve with his torch would be just snag some jackal kills for us, which is unacceptable. And there we go. The room is starting to fill up and we are approaching the very top. And of course, our friend is waking up. So he just wants to hug Lara, but it tends to break her bones. I don't know why undead creatures are so strong. This doesn't really make sense to me. They should be weaker than your average human. I mean, they don't feel exhaustion, they don't feel pain, they don't feel fatigue when straining what's left of their muscles, but yeah, I guess I'm applying logic to where there shouldn't be any logic at all. But still, I just feel like they should be pathetically weak. Like, you could sneeze on them and they will break apart. And you can climb out already, but I just want to see how far we can go, yeah? And if for whatever reason just running around in circles like in the Colosseum of Monty Python's Life of Brian doesn't work for you, you can always just use your shotgun to knock them down, waste shotgun shells, but buy yourself some time, I guess? I don't know. Beautiful music. And, well, let's at least wave goodbye to him. He was a good sport. Take care now. You guys have fun. We'll put you to rest in a while. Well, in a couple of days, but still. And if you follow the light at the end of the tunnel, literally you will reach the end of the level. So let me just pause here, show you the statistics. These were burial chambers, and we have found all 21 items. We have found all 5 secrets from 13 to 18. We didn't use any health packs, which is amazing considering the vicious trap at the very beginning. Our ammo used count increased somewhat because of fooling around with pistols, and using the shotgun on the jackals didn't increase it that much, thankfully. But we only achieved 8 out of 15 kills, which is the maximum number of kills you can, without having weapons you shouldn't have by now, without cheats. And by the way, no judgment. If you want to play using cheats, you know, all the power to you. It's just, for those of us who don't, I want to, you know, like, offer the complete guide, what's within the realm of possible, with the resources given to us at any given point. So we have killed 8 jackals and killed none of the 7 mummies. That leaves us at 8 out of 15. So with those words, let's go see Daylight of the Valley of Kings, and I will see you guys next time in a particularly fun level. Take care now.